I played 35 random Geometry Dash 2.2 levels. Everything from the page number, difficulty, and category was randomized. Yes, that means I went into the 2.2 recent tab on more than one occasion. 2.2 level roulette, 2.2 level randomizer, call this challenge whatever you want, but it is in no way going to be easy. Anyway, let's start. First up is the category, with 8 potential options. I rolled a 3, which means we are going into the trending tab. Next is the difficulty, also with 8 potential options. Yes, including Demon. Let's hope I don't get that. I rolled a 1, which means we are playing levels of the NA difficulty. I then randomized the page number and level, and I was taken to this. It is a pretty cool recreation of the Geometry Dash completion portal and new best message, using camera controls and the song trigger to achieve the effects. It took me like 2 attempts to beat because of the first jump not being sight readable at all, but I did it. Also, to spice things up a bit, I will be counting every level I cannot complete, ultimately determining a 2.2 win-to-lose ratio by the end of the video. Next up, I rolled a 5 and an 8, meaning we are playing levels from the magic tab of the auto difficulty. I came across this level that featured a bunch of cool icon recreations. Hey, look, it's me! Afterwards, I rolled a 1 and a 5, meaning we are playing levels from the most downloaded category of the harder difficulty. I was greeted with this level called Press Start, which is basically just a poorly made remake of the official Press Start by RobTop. Like, just look at Scully over here. What happened to him? An 8 and a 4 would be my next rolls, meaning I will be taken to a level from the Friends tab of the hard difficulty. But, there is a problem. You see, I don't have any friends. Surprisingly though, results still came up, so I guess I'll go with it. I was taken to this level, which actually had surprisingly good decoration. I mean, this definitely deserves a star rate, so why hasn't it got one yet? I played the level normally with a few deaths because of human error, but then... yeah, blind transition. I did eventually end up beating this level, and bad transitions aside, it was actually pretty fun. Next up, we are in the awarded tab looking for auto levels. Wow, I am getting really lucky. That is already 2 auto levels. This one was called Auto Glow Area, probably a reference to Auto Play Area. While not like that level in any way, it is pretty cool, even featuring the first auto gameplay of the swing copter that I've seen. Next up, however, I rolled a 4 first, meaning we are going into the recent tab. Yeah, the 2.2 recent tab. Let that sink in. It really couldn't get much worse. And we are filtering by insane difficulty. Yeah, recent insane levels. This will be fun. The level I would have to play is pretty much the worst level you could possibly imagine for me to play for this video. It is literally called Crazy Demon, and that pretty much summarizes the level. Like, it features pretty much everything you wouldn't want in a demon level: blind transitions, unfair fakes, spikes that come out of nowhere and kill me. In case there was somehow still a bit of hope left for me to beat this, not only is it demon, but it is extra long. Yeah, an extra long demon is something, but an extra long demon from the 2.2 recent tab? Look, I stood no chance of beating this. Next up, I was taken to the recent tab again, looking for hard levels. I came across this level, where you have to go up to reach the finish line. It took me a while to find out what was safe and not safe, but it turns out the color of the walls are what tell me that. So, this level is only of the hard difficulty, so I should be able to beat it, right? Well, I struggled. The level has many different stages, and whenever you messed up, you had to restart from the very beginning. Needless to say, I wasn't really feeling up to the challenge, so that's already 2 levels that have bested me. I need to step up my game. Next up, I had to play a normal level in the followed category, but, I don't follow anyone? Wait a minute. Let's just quickly find an easy level that I've beaten, click this button, and okay, we found a normal level in the followed tab. Anyway, I completed this level really quickly because I had played it before. I spent hundreds of attempts in practice for hours. There were times where it seemed I would never beat this level, but I was determined, and eventually, the day finally came. Seems my luck has just ended, because next up I had to play this demon from the awarded tab, and after seeing all these blind transitions early on, I decided I had no hope of beating it. That's another point for the 2.2 levels. Next up I rolled the awarded category and then the NA difficulty. Wait, so I rolled a new category and got the recent tab. The level I had to play ended up actually being pretty cool, showcasing this neat 3D effect. The next level I rolled was this harder level from the magic tab. So, imagine a 9 circles level, but with inconsistent use of the time warp trigger, making the gameplay more annoying than it had any right to be. Well, that is basically this level. I did beat it though, and aside from the bad time warp usage, it was pretty cool. Except for these structures that just appear from out of nowhere and stab me. They were not cool. Next up is an insane level from the most liked tab, and I was greeted with a copy of Finger Dash, except for one small change. It is in platformer mode. Fortunately, I can play it normally by just continuously holding right, and aside from a few bugs, everything was under control. Until... yeah, I forgot the jetpack existed. So when I transformed into that and not the ship, I got scared and crashed. I got there again and took it a bit slower, but then the fireballs just decided to stop turning and block off the path. Next time I got there, I finally played it normally and then beat the level. The next level was a normal level from the trending tab, and it is pretty much just your typical 2.2 level. Nothing super outstanding, but nothing super bad about it either, so I beat it relatively quickly. Next is an auto level from the friends tab. Once again, I don't have any friends, but things still show up for some reason, so the level I would be playing was Particle Effects 3. Could this be the third installment to the famous Particle Effects series that has astonished the community and revealed the potential of the particle editor? No, it is not, literally just being this. Yeah, this is the whole level. Next up, I rolled the exact same category and difficulty again, and was taken to this level, and it's actually really cool. It uses the new song trigger to create a piano that you can play by landing on the key you want. Just listen to this awesome tune I played. I then rolled the recent tab in harder difficulty. However, the level I would end up playing was actually featured, and it was really cool, aside from a few timings. I got all the coins in this first room and had zero clue what to do. Then I found the entrance to the second room hidden off the screen. Anyway, the level seemed to be very long and I didn't really have the patience to complete it. It is still a really nice looking level though. Next up was an auto level from the most liked tab. Funnily enough, the level I landed on was Auto Glow Area. Yes, the same one we played a few levels ago. So I decided to play the level just below it and it was interesting to say the least. So basically, your cube literally goes hypersonic. No, really, just look at this. Next, I rolled a demon from the Friends tab, and was taken to this airship level. It was honestly very fun for a demon, until I went down to this key and the ladder I used to get here suddenly disappeared from behind me. I then jumped down here and the other ladder I had used earlier to get up somewhere had also disappeared. Needless to say, I stood no chance at beating this level. Next up, I rolled the Follow tab and the hard difficulty, which is basically a free pass since I don't yet follow anyone. Anyway, I followed another awesome 2.2 creator, Robotic24, and was given this level. Basically, the goal is to collect some coins that you can then use in this really cool custom shop to buy a key to enter this cave and finish the level. So I did just that, and completed it without trouble. Actually, wait, I did have some trouble, such as literally falling off this bridge and landing on what is apparently a spike. Next up, I rolled the recent tab in an easy level, and was taken to this, which is honestly really high quality, at least compared to other recent levels. I collected 20 silver coins, got this key, entered this cave, and collected this coin which I assume the key unlocked. Nothing much, just another pretty cool platformer level. I was given NA levels from the most downloaded tab, and I landed on... oh no. Fortunately, the level actually makes good use of the time warp trigger, making the Silent Circle's wave spam a piece of cake. Next, I rolled the magic tab in NA difficulty, and was taken to this 2.2 sneak peek recreation. It is actually a really cool remake, definitely one of the better ones I've seen. Next up was a harder magic level, and I was thrown in this arena with this fella. I ran into him a few times and progressed to the second phase of the fight. However, he completely pulled an ace out of his sleeve and out of nowhere spikes crawled out of the ground and without giving me any time to react, annihilated me. Next up, I was in the most downloaded tab and was taken to this normal level, and hey, it turns out I've beaten it before. Probably back when I was trying to find the best 2.2 level. Anyway, it was rather easy, so I beat it with no problems. Next up was a demon. From the recent tab. So remember that one demon I played earlier with bad transitions? Well, imagine that, but worse in every way. Well, that is this level that I landed on. Well played, 2.2 levels, well played. I then rolled the same category and difficulty and was taken to this puzzle level. I got through the first two rooms, but the third room made my brain hurt too much, so I guess that's another level I failed to complete. Next up was an insane magic level, and I was given the most impossible to sight read level ever. Like, there was a transition every 2 seconds, and every time it didn't give me any time to process what was going on and I crashed. A lot. Next up, I entered the Friends tab for hard levels, and landed on this rainbowy level. I struggled to get this key initially, but it turns out you need to go to the door it unlocks before grabbing these red sticks that are then used to dramatically destroy the saw blade, but for some reason the key stays intact. And yes, you have to do it in that order, or else the level will just break. Although afterwards it was a pretty cool level. I did get eaten by this fella, but everything was fine after that. Next up was the followed category and insane levels. So I needed to find the creator that has a really easy insane level that I can play and hopefully land on. Fortunately, I found this easy wave level, which uses the time warp trigger like the Silent Circles level did to make this otherwise extreme wave section free. Next up was a hard level from the recent tab, and I ended up landing on another sneak peek remake. However, this one was much worse. Not being decorated, not being sight readable, and being very janky. I did complete it, though after enough trial and error. Next up was the magic tab, which typically houses pretty good levels. Then I got the hard difficulty, which combined with the magic tab should give us a relatively easy level. No, it did not give us an easy level. Literally the first thing the level throws at me is a triple spike, a platformer mode triple spike. While the level is not that bad, it is incredibly unpolished, featuring missing tiles, messed up block designs, and this nightmare platform. You see, this thing likes to move, but only once you start jumping towards it. I got here 3 times, and the platform trolled me each time, sending me into this poisonous swamp. Once again, that's another point for the 2.2 levels. Next up, I rolled an auto level. I also got the recent tab, but that doesn't really matter seeing as the level is auto. I landed on this epic background level, which features this pretty neat background. Yeah, that's the whole level. Next, I went into the recent tab with the normal difficulty and landed on this pretty cool platformer puzzle level. Each room looks the same, but has a different way to complete it. It also has resets, which is a lifesaver. The puzzles were actually really fun until I got to the 8th room where I messed up and the reset refused to fix it. Next up was this blue platformer level, which was actually really fun. I beat it relatively quickly, so I honestly kind of wish it was longer. There was one last level left in the challenge. One more level between myself and victory. Since this was the last level, I knew I had to beat it. But for all I knew, I could roll an extreme demon. But what I actually got was much worse. Okay, that was a little easier than I was expecting. Anyway, please consider subscribing to my channel if you like this video. If you're not yet sure if you can make that commitment, feel free to check out my other videos to see if you find anything you like. Anyway, I hope you all have a fantastic day, as always.